Hey, just starting my day. Wanted to get a quick video online before I go on about my day and it all evaporates. Although I don't think this one will. So, um, you know how we all love our favorite movies and we're watching movies and we think it's just entertainment? And, depending on who you are, you like different genres of movies. Well, I had this interesting experience yesterday. I had kind of run through a bunch of stuff on Amazon Prime, Netflix, whatever, and I went back to something I used to watch uh, 9, 10 years ago, which is the Sex and the City series. Now, I used to use the Sex and the City series to kind of uplift me. It was like, ooh, I'm this like cool young woman, living in the big city. I have these cool friends. I have cool clothes. I have a cool job. And, to my horror, I started watching this and I'm like, oh my God, I created my own Mr. Big and my own drama and my own failed relationships and all this stuff. And so it just was popping on because just like I stopped watching the local news and all the negative stories of all the crap in the media, because I didn't want to create my reality with that. I've kind of gotten on a sort of mental diet with the programs that I watch as well. And so it was something of a shock to realize that, oh, wait, it really is true. Like, these shows that I used to watch, like, entered into my consciousness and were part of what I was creating. Wow, it's not just my parents and, my childhood. It's like the stuff I've been feeding myself. Okay, now, seriously, I'm not the only one who thinks this. Neville Goddard, has a couple lectures on, like, if you sit down in the morning and the first thing you do is, in his day, they didn't have like the internet and, well, TV was different and no smartphones. But, if you sit down in the morning and you read all the horrible negative news, in the media, first newspapers and then TV, that's what's running in your consciousness and that's what you're going to recreate more of. Wow. And then, like a year ago, actually a couple years ago, I became highly aware of this. It wasn't just that I wasn't watching horror movies or I stopped watching super negative news. It was that I was realizing that this was forming some of my own, negative beliefs. And, here I am, like, trying to deprogram myself from negative beliefs. And then I'm simultaneously feeding myself this in really what's a hypnotic state. When you think about it, when you're watching a movie, you're extremely open. And especially those of you that tend to watch TV right before you fall asleep. That thing that's running, on TV or your smartphone or whatever media you're watching things these days is what's programming your mind. So you could be sitting there writing your lovely intentions about your specific person, your twin flame, your new job, and you're watching this like crazy thing that's actually, it's not just, outwardly telling you, but maybe there's characters in it that are always losing, or they can't attain what they want, or they're only good at one thing, or, they're in a traditional unhappy marriage, but oh my God, they're never going to leave. Or, the message is, just be satisfied with whatever you have and, drink. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys are watching, but you know what I'm saying. Or, I mean, it's actually hard to come up with any Hollywood movie that, even if it starts out as cool and positive, or maybe even ends as cool as positive, doesn't have some negative, insidious, like, stereotype or message running through it. And it's easier to notice the obvious message. What's what's really controlling you and your consciousness is the stuff that's underlying it, the stuff that's under the radar, the stuff you're not even noticing. So that's why it was like really shocking when I started rewatching the Sex and the City series, and I was like, holy crap, like that's what I did. That's what I did to myself. Now, about 10 years ago, that was like when we had the recession or whatever. So I had been like serially rewatching those just to kind of uplift my mood. And it did sort of help me at the time, but it also created this very, very unlovely set of circumstances that I didn't want, which was like if I did my profession, I would have to struggle with love. And actually, the whole definition of love is being pain, and you have to struggle, and there's no men after a certain age, and the men that are available are just like messed up, and all this negative stuff out there. And you're like, oh, I'm different. The movie has a positive ending. Yeah, but all that stuff in between, you're just like, you're literally opening like your consciousness, and you're going, oh yeah, that's true, that's true, that's true. And then you could be listening to, subliminal tapes or trying to undo all that stuff, not even aware that you keep feeding it because, like, there it is again. That's what you're doing. Anyway, given it's the holiday season and there's like a gazillion holiday movies out there that are in the same pattern of all the traditional stuff that many of you, especially in the twin flame community, are struggling to overcome, like, oh, I'm not the deserving one, I'm hurting somebody else, if I get what I want, it hurts other people, whatever, or, there's only a certain amount of good that I can get, or you have to look a certain way to get your guy, whatever it might be. But just, if you're going to watch the stuff, for God's sakes, don't watch it at night and fall asleep to it, and start looking at it critically and become aware. Wake up. Wake up. What do you want your reality to be? Is watching that film, the momentary pleasure that you get from it, worth what it's going to create in your reality? It's like saying, oh, I'm going to eat this chocolate cake because it tastes so good, and then you feel really sick after and you gain 5 pounds. So, which reality are you choosing? Anyway, I'm going to go to the gym and go create my beautiful reality. Love you guys.